Let's take a look at some questions that will be similar to those that you will see on an upcoming quiz for demand. Start off with some true-false. You might want to have your notes with you as you go through these, just as a point of reference, and maybe even those charts that we created in class. So question 1, a desire to buy a product is the only requirement needed for demand to exist. If you said that is false, you are correct. And the next thing you want to do in these true-false is to be able to answer why you believe that it is false. And so the word only here is the problem that's making it false. So you need to have both a desire and the ability. A desire and the ability to buy a product for demand to exist. And that would have made that true. 2. Marginal utility describes the decreasing satisfaction a consumer receives with the purchase of each additional unit. This true-false question is challenging, and it is challenging because it includes elements of truth. So marginal utility does describe satisfaction, but the word decreasing here is making it false. So this is where you need to know the difference between marginal utility and decreasing marginal utility. So just marginal utility is the amount of satisfaction that you get from consuming one more unit of something, whereas decreasing marginal utility describes your reduction in satisfaction as you continue to consume more and more of a product. So this would have been true if it started with the word decreasing. Decreasing marginal utility describes the decreasing satisfaction a consumer receives with the purchase of each additional unit. So technically it's false. It's close, but got to make sure that word decreasing is in there. Number 3, a demand curve illustrates the quantity demanded at all possible prices at a given time. Well, that's true. It does do that at a given time. A demand schedule is created from a demand curve. So the schedule was this information here. This is the schedule, and then we sketched the curve. A demand schedule is created from a demand curve. What do you think? Once again, it's close, but it's backwards. A demand curve is created from a demand schedule. A demand schedule is not created from a demand curve, so it's backwards. We've got a situation of a tail wagging the dog here. So if it had been reversed and it was demand curve creates demand schedule, that would have been correct, but because it's saying that a demand schedule is created from a demand curve, backwards thinking there, and therefore question 4 in this particular case is false. And 5, last in the true-false here. The law of demand states that more of a product will be purchased at low prices than at high prices. Let's make that specific so we don't get confused here. So, more purchased at low prices. Does that sound correct? That sounds correct to me. I like that. We're going to make that one true. Multiple choice. For most products and services, increased prices result in increased prices, higher prices, demand for fewer products, demand for more products, reduced demand for substitutes. All right, we haven't even covered this information yet here. So these over here, C and D, are clearly wrong. So it's between these two. So increasing prices, are we going to want more or less? Yes, less. Another word for less is fewer. So demand for fewer products with higher prices, A. 7. What does a demand schedule show? A demand schedule shows an upward sloping curve that illustrates the positive relationship between price and quantity demanded. Now this one's going to take some thinking. So remember, the schedule is the listing. I believe that our curve is downward sloping, so I'm going to ignore anything that says upward sloping. Schedule listing. Well, a schedule is a list. A listing of the various quantities demanded of a particular product at all prices that might prevail in the market. I like B. And then I take a quick look at these other ones, the fluctuations. We haven't even talked about anything like that. So the best answer here is B, a listing of various quantities. Number 8. So the question is below the curve. Let's make this a little easier to see here. So we have a demand curve for movie videos. Okay. According to this demand curve, how many movie videos will be demanded at a price of $10? Well, I don't know. Let's go look at $10. $10. Come on over to our demand curve. Drop down. Looks to me like a quantity demanded of 1,000. Choice D. Choice D right there. 1,000. Number 9. According to this demand curve, if the price of movie videos increases from $14 to $16, the quantity demanded will do something. Better zoom out. So, the price is going to go from 14 to 16. 14 to 16. What happens? Well, let's look at what happens at 14. At 14, we had a quantity demanded of 600 at a price of $16. 400, 600 minus 400, 200. So something with 200. And what happens? Does it increase or decrease? Well, it decreases because it went from 600 down to 400. The price increase resulted in a decrease in quantity demanded of 200. Let's see which one of these makes sense. The quantity demand will fall from 600 to 400. Rise from 400 to 600 definitely won't rise. It's a fall. Fall from 400 to 200. No, that's a price of $18. So the best answer is it will fall from 600 to 400. Quantity demanded. Best choice here is A. Feel free to review that discussion if you like. Practice is good. Individual and market demand for mystery novels. All right, so we have the demand for somebody named Damien and somebody named Cara. So individual demand curves, add these two together to get the market demand curve. According to the demand curves at a price of $20, how many more mystery novels would Cara demand than would Damien? How many more? So some type of little subtraction problem here. So let's look at $20. At $20, it looks like Damien demands 1. At $20, Cara would demand 2. 2 minus 1 would be 1 more. Looks like our best choice is B, 1 more. Make sure I answered the right question. How many more mystery novels would Cara demand? 1 more. 2 minus 1. 1 more. Answer is B. Assume that Damien and Cara are the only two people in the market for mystery novels. Based on the graphs, what would be the market quantity demanded for mystery novels at a price of $5? So you will recall that the market demand is the sum of the individual demands. So we're going to add the demand Damien and the demand from Cara, and that will give us the market. So we need to look at $5. At $5, Damien's demand is 8. And at $5, Cara's demand is 7. 8 plus 7, 15. 15. There it is right there. C. New graph. Based on the graph, how does the market demand for concert tickets change if the price increases from $30 to $40? From 30 to 40. So at 30, the quantity demanded is 10,000. And at 40, the quantity demanded is 6,000. 10,000 minus 6,000 is 4,000. Let's take a look at our answer choices. Demand curve shifts. We haven't talked about that. The demand curve shift. Nope. C, quantity demanded decreases by 4,000. Quantity demanded increases by 4,000. We have decreased by 4,000 because we went from 10,000 to 6,000. Quantity demanded decreases by 4,000 tickets. The answer is C.